So I'm back from GoFest, and Make Your Mark has been out since Friday. Now, I've kind of not seen too many of these. We've kind of had a little bit of a play around with a couple of them, but now I feel like I'm ready to see what the whole big deal of this is. So, straight off the bat, if you are unfamiliar, maybe you've not played it, you've not just looked on Twitter or figured out how these actually upgrade. The way these do upgrade is you have the campaign launch. Some of them have been upgraded. The biggest dub from EA, and I don't know why we haven't had this all year round, is we are actually getting the upgrades a couple of hours after the match. So for instance, today we have England versus Serbia. If Palmer was to obviously do any of this, so makes his debut, he obviously gets a chemistry boost. If he gets 2 goals and gets the +1, he would get that upgrade a couple of hours after the match. That is phenomenal. So, that's just a side note, really. I'm just very happy that they're actually giving the upgrades, because I was kind of waiting until the quarterfinals before we get the first round of them, especially with the amount of cards that are live at the moment. But for these then, so we have the campaign launch, which is going to be, for instance, if we was to take... Where's big boy Virgil? So he's 97 right now. So as we see, 97, he's got his quadruple playstyle plus, he's a big upgrade. So he's got this campaign launch. If he makes the tournament debut, so that is just playing, it can be subbed on, or it can obviously be starting, either or, he will get a chemistry boost, so he basically has free chemistry. He's a hero, basically. Then you've got attacking and midfielders. They need 2 goals or assists for themselves. Or if you are a defender like Virgil, it will take him 2 matches at the minimum, but a defender or goalkeeper will need 2 clean sheets. So that will give him a +1 as well. And then also the final upgrade, which could make Virgil a 99, is making 5 appearances. So all being well, no injuries, Virgil has got a big shout at actually doing this. So it will be interesting to see where we can go with him, but at the minimum, he should be able to get the chemistry debut. That should be absolutely fine. That's not a problem. I think actually that might have been done already. I want to say, if you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. They're currently playing their 44th minute, so unfortunately they haven't got the first clean sheet, but I can imagine, judging from the match, so it's against Poland at the moment, it's 1-1. There's no spoilers because this will be out after the match is done. He is Stein, so he at the minimum gets his debut. Unfortunately, like I say, no clean sheets. If they are not going to get the clean sheets, he needs it in the next 2, and then it will get harder and harder as the tournament obviously goes on. The likely chance of him getting a clean sheet in the semi-final and the final gets a lot more slimmer. But it could still happen. It most definitely. We've seen weirder things in the Euros and the World Cup, so it will be an interesting one. But he's already got his chemistry bonus. Now, thanks to Fubbin, I wonder if we can move it a little bit closer. We actually have got the playstyle pluses on the card as well, which I'm kind of happy for that I don't actually have to put them in. But it does mean that I can kind of just loosely check the card and we can go through them because we now know off by heart what the playstyle pluses are. So Virgil has got his quadruple. I am surprised how quick the progression has gone up since Team of the Season, but I can also understand it. And also the prices of these cards are monumental at the moment. Palmer's coming in at 3.3. You've got Virgil at 6 mil, Leao at 4 mil. You've got Jeez, a 440k. I thought that said 4 mil then for DeMarcos. Like I say, it looks like a really nice card, but I don't know about 4 mil. Kolo Muani is now sub 1 mil. We got anybody on the bench? No, looking like a bit of fodder players, if anything. We've got the Tottenham centre-back coming in quite nice. Deadpool, though. We'll have a look. We'll see what they look like. But Virgil, I think, is quite an easy one, to be honest. I think you could easily get out quite a few of them. Likely chance, they more than likely will get the upgrades, but they're the standard of anything. There is obviously a couple that have already been upgraded as well, like, for instance, Normand. Normand, is that? Lee Normand? He's got himself an upgrade anyway, in terms of the chemistry, so that will be an interesting one. Most of these will not have a +1 straight off the bat, because if they're a defender, they've got to get 2 clean sheets, so that does take 2 games. If they've got the goals, I mean, you could definitely get the goals in 1 game, but the likely chances is not as favourable, really. And then the 5 appearances, obviously takes 5 appearances. And for the Copa America, I keep saying Copa America. I don't know where I've got that in my head. Copa America has not started yet. That starts on the 21st, so in 5 more days. So then we'll start to see the upgrades from there. But when it comes to these tops, I don't think there's really any arguments between them. All of them were top at the very start of the team of the season anyway, with their cards. I know Tchouaméni only had a FUT birthday, but managed to smash it out. Leao's team of the season was incredible. Palmer's probably much better in this one as well, because he just looks a nicer upgrade, even though I do think when it comes to the comparison between his team of the season and this one, there isn't like a crazy deal difference. Like, you've got 1s, 2s and 3s across the board. You've obviously got the technical flair and finesse, whereas now he's got the dead ball, technical power shot and finesse. I mean, I'll get rid of the flair. That's absolutely fine, because that really doesn't do anything for me. And then obviously adding the dead ball, it's just a nice upgrade. I'll take it. So that's not bad at all. But in terms of the pricing, it is a little bit expensive at the moment. It might have taken a little bit more of a spike, because obviously England are playing today. So there is, if he gets 2 goals, he gets the upgrade. So that is how it goes. And I believe, I want to say the CDMs fit in with the defenders, I think. But I'm not too sure. I don't know if they do class as a midfield still. I'm pretty sure in another game they have counted as a defender, because they are a defensive mid, whereas centre mid and cam do fit with the midfielders. I could be wrong, so don't take me. Let me know if you know that. I kind of vaguely remember that a little bit. We also have a very nice upgrade on Xavi Simons. Now, he was one that I really thought could have been better in the Bundesliga, because he got the 93 team of the season, and as much as the upgrade was nice, it was overshadowed by Musiala, it was overshadowed by Wirtz, it was even then overshadowed by the end of era eventually, but Royce in his team of the season and end of era, so he kind of just was there. He never really got a chance to be put into a team, because there was always better options, and he always was the cheaper option. Now he's got himself a nice upgrade. He is an SBC as well, so that's even better at 360 for the Dutch player. I think, again, most definitely worth a looking at the minimum. Technical, rapid, dead ball, it is what it is. And then obviously you've got the Travella, so it's a nice account by all means. Again, with him, I believe, I don't know who's actually the scorer in that Netherlands game. We might as well double check. We have got Gakpo scoring. Is he in the lineup? That's the question, because then that'll give him the boost for the chemistry, which is going to be really good. So he is in the team as well. You've got Depay, Simons, Gakpo, Verben. So there is, again, a decent lineup of people going on there. So that's going to be an interesting one nonetheless. And I think with Simons, he more than likely will get at least one of the upgrades. He seems to be that guy, and potentially could get both. We could see a 97 at this point, and I think the max chemistry is going to be really good, even though it's not necessarily a game where I'm that fussed about maximum chemistry. Like, as long as everybody's got 2 or 3, that's fine. Like, maybe if one person doesn't have the 3, it's all good. But now we're going to have pretty much all of the cards with maxed out, especially if you are looking at a team like this. Like, you could have Virgil at the back, Tchouaméni, Palmer in the midfield, Leao up top. You could even push Palmer onto a wing and have Simons in the cam role. All of them will get max chemistry no matter who else is in the team. You could throw an Mbappe in there. You could throw an R9 in there. There's no difference with any of the chemistry. So that is really, really nice to have in general. We also then have a Martinelli that looks fantastic. A very, very nice card in himself. And we've got a big comparison because there is another SBC. But Martinelli, like I said with the Copa America, they've not started yet. So it's very hard to kind of judge any upgrades at the minute because we've not seen anything from it. With Martinelli though, great upgrade from his 89. His 89 was very nice for the time that he came out anyway, so this is even better. And I know he's had a fair few evolutions that you could have got him to like 9. I think the Prem team of the season could have got him to a 95. There is a chance that he does go to that 98 if he manages to do this stuff. So it would be a really nice upgrade for him as well. Unfortunately, some players only have the triple play style plus, whereas some do have the quadruple already. And unfortunately, the Make Your Mark doesn't give you an extra playstyle plus. That is going to be for the Path to Glories and also I believe the icons as well, icons and heroes, and more than likely we'll see some more cards throughout the tournament as well. So I think with Xavi Simons, I definitely would put him into that S+. I think he's definitely had a big upgrade. I'd say definitely with Martinelli as well. He was a good winger nonetheless, so that's going to be a great one. But the big shout that we're going to see is Garnacho. Now, definitely a lot cheaper than I thought it would be, and to be honest, I've been very surprised with the amount of cards that he got. Like he's had a good season, like almost as a breakthrough sort of season. He's done well in all fairness of how that season has gone for Man U. It's probably one of the worst seasons we've had, but there has been some glimmers of hope with some of the players. And I'm not saying that he's been an absolute world beater by any shout, but he's managed to get an inform, which was nice. I kind of assumed the future star was coming. That was just a natural one. Wasn't quite expecting the team of the season moments. I thought that one was just an extra little touch. Fair enough. He got I don't know if it is confirmed he got goal of the season, but he definitely got a goal of the month at one point for the overhead kick. That's fair enough. But then getting the 96 as well, I mean, that's a very nice card. Trickster, finesse, incisive pass, and rapid as well. That is a well-worked card. The chance to go to 98 also. I think with any of these teams, especially for the young, and so like for instance, Garnacho at Argentina, I don't know if he plays. I don't know if he's a starter, if he's a rotation. That is something that I've not seen yet, especially in the Copa Americas. I think this is his first one. I'm pretty sure most of these... Are all of these... No, I don't think all of these are their first ones. Or could they be? Because I know Virgil is. I was very shocked that Virgil was his first Euros. But, I mean, it could be. I've not seen the actual kind of definition. I mean, it more than likely makes sense. But Garnacho goes up there as well. We also have a really nice card. He is Nico Williams, a stunning amount of cards again. Again, another one with a lovely future stars. He's had an Ultimate Dynasties with his brother. Then he got a Team of the Season moments. And then now he's into a quadruple Playstyle Plus. And he's only $4.90. Not a bad price for a left mid, right wing, left wing. And he's got himself the Travella, the Technical, the Whipped Pass, and the Tiki Taka. Now, in terms of him... It's a very hard one. I'm probably going a bit too heavy on the Garnacho and Martinelli, but I do think, to be fair, Nico Williams is going to put himself up there as well. And it's a hard one because when you look at the quadruple Playstyle Plus, again, it's kind of stepped up one more. We saw the single to double, or even the non to a single Playstyle Plus, then the single to the double to the triple. It always goes up and it always makes them cards that little bit better. Now, I'm not saying every card is, because some quadruple Playstyle Pluses might not be the greatest. We'll definitely see I don't even know. If we've got a strike, it'll be like a relentless, it'll be maybe a technical, which is decent, but then into like a chip shot plus and a flare. That's not the greatest quadruple, whereas you will see a lot of them with some decent ones, like even Virgil. Yes, he's got the long ball pass, it's not the greatest, but still got anticipate, still got block, and still got slide tackle, so they outweigh that fourth one. The fourth one's just an extra bonus for him, and to be honest, they can't really make him too good, because if he does get the 99, then that card's going to stick for the rest of the game, really. Whereas I do think Nico definitely puts himself up there. We have Kolo Muani. I don't think there's any question really with him, to be fair. He's absolutely unreal. Loved his FUT birthday. Loved the extra 88 that we got. And now into this 96. Like, he's going to be a dominant striker. And if you was to go for something like a sniper or marksman, you could get yourself a controlled lengthy as well, which I think is going to be perfect for him. He's 765. Stats are through the roof. Finesse, quick step, flair. Not got the triple, unfortunately, but he's still absolutely works it down to the ground. Then if we go to one of the final top ones, I'm thinking DeMarco. Was there anybody else in that absolute top category without even question? I think DeMarco as a left back, I'm surprised anybody's managed to get to Teo already. And I know technically he's a left mid, but we most of the time see DeMarco in that left wing back sort of role. He managed to get his team of the season in there. We can obviously still play left back or centre back, and I do think he's going to be more of a left back anyway. He's got the whipped pass, he's got the block, he's got the jockey. It's a perfect left back category there, and it's going to be the big question of between him and Teo more than anything. And I think if you was to compare them both, Teo probably does come out on top just that little bit. Again, incisive quick step jockey, so he does have the whipped pass over him, which is a massive one if you are using fullbacks that overlap. That's going to be a massive one, because especially if you're looking at the strikers now with Giroud, with not Solanke, Sorloth, with Drogba, with Kolo Muani now, they're going to be able to head that ball. DeMarco's going to absolutely whip that in, whereas Teo doesn't have that ability of the Playstyle Plus, and it makes a massive factor. But if you do go stat by stat, Teo looks better, but they are both very, very similar. It is all dependent on what you prefer, in my opinion now. Then we also have a massive new striker in Sesko. Benjamin Sesko with his 95. Finally managed to get a card. I know he's been absolutely living it up in Leipzig, and finally he's gone from 75 to 95, which is just incredible in itself. A lovely 20 upgrade, and the card, look at the massive upgrade there. 17 pace, 19 shooting, 19 dribbling. It's just a beautiful card. Would have loved maybe a 5'4", 4'5", something like that. It just might have added that little bit extra. But coming in at 6'4" with the aerial plus, finesse and technical, that is a very serious card for the price that he's coming in at. Now, I don't know if it would quite beat Kolo Muani out, but I do think most definitely, if I can find him, he will definitely be coming in that S category without a shadow. And as another striker, Okafor, or Okafor, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. He was the lovely upgrade that we got in the academy. So, I don't know, is going to show me? Oh, beautiful. So, if you go into the academy, oh, it's not going to show me. I want to say it was like a 90 rated that you can get, and it was a phenomenal striker. Was definitely one of the more favoured ones. And again, he's coming out 6'1". A lot of tall strikers getting upgrades now. But he is obviously 97 pace. He's got the rapid, the first touch, the finesse. It's a perfect striking force and very, very, very cheap to be able to get. When we kind of look at a few of the lower ones, obviously we've got Mudryk there as well that we'll go over. There's a couple of they're throwaways. Now, in terms of stats, it's predominantly, well, to be fair, we'll kind of go through a lot of them here. Oh no, Jan Kuto is a beautiful card. We want to go through him a little bit more. McKennie, Johnston. If we kind of look through a lot of these kind of more throwaway kind of lower end fodder cards. It is what it is. You've got to have some fodder, otherwise the prices do not work. And to be fair to them, when I kind of go over the kind of the smaller cards that people probably just put into SBCs, the big thing is now when you look at all of the stats. So if we go through, ooh, you're not a bad card. So if we go through all of them, McKennie's got a little bit about him. You've got a bit about you. That's not a best left back. We'll have a look at that one. Grob is the objective, I believe, this week. And then we've got Jan Kubo. When you look at the stats, like, they are considerably better than the average player. So even if I put these in an A+, an A, to be honest, I don't think many are B, if anything, now, because that would be reserved for more your lower team of the season. These are still coming in, I'd probably say, all of them at an A+, purely on the stats. Like, you look at all of them, so you got a right back, 96 pace, 88 defending, 91 physical, whipped pass, jockey, long ball throw. They love to throw that one in there, but that's going to be better than your average right back. You then got the Uruguayan centre mid, 92 pace, 92 passing, 91 on the dribbling, 96 defending, 96 physical. Again, you might not see him as kind of like that absolute must-have, but that's a decent card. Like, for 36,000 coins, that is not a bad centre mid by any shot. Like, yes, he doesn't have shooting, so he's not going to be a box-to-box, but as a heavy DM, intercept, incisive, bruiser, they're not throwaway cards in terms of the kind of growing your team. If you've just started, if you've not necessarily put any money into the game, you've not really grinded too much, you're just happy playing, that's going to be a great upgrade for your team. It's not going to be a good upgrade for your team if you sweat this game 24/7. Like, if you look at my team, I play this game every day. So the likely chance that a 36k centre mid is going to overtake what hopefully money and hard work actually get you, then unfortunately not. But it's worth a shout at the end of the day, really. So it does work out for a lot of them. To be fair to them, I probably would say I'd get rid of the B category. I don't even think many are even A, to be honest. Just normal A, to be fair, because even the stats, they may not have necessarily the greatest kind of playstyle pluses on some of them, like the long ball long ball throw. It is a throwaway playstyle plus, unfortunately. But when we look at the stats, I think pretty much most are sitting there like a centre mid. 91 pace, 91 shooting, 95 passing, 94 dribbling, and 92 physical. Anticipate, Travella, technical. They are going to be at least worth to be able to do something. So I think when you're looking at most of them, they are coming in at the A+ at the minimum, with the chance of another upgrade, which is nice. And then it's just kind of taking away the top. But they would be better than your team of the season. So when I do, I don't even know what this week is, but say it's like a rank in the centre backs, these are going to be better even at the lower category. Like, we look at someone like the Belgium centre back, I don't even know how you pronounce that name, Fieta, Yeah, I'm going to butcher that name regardless. I knew that from the shadow. From the shadow? From the moment I said it. Oh, it's been a long day. But in terms of the centre-back, in terms of 94, 68,000, that's going to beat most centre-backs in the team of the season, or at least equal it. Anticipate, brilliant meta, power header I'll take, and then he's obviously got the jockey as well. Fantastic. Great pace, great defending, great physical, even got a decent amount of dribbling. The only problem is the composure's on that little bit of the lower side. Not a lot we can do there. You'd obviously go either with the anchor or shadow. I can imagine a lot of people are going to go with that shadow, which is going to be 99 pace, 98 defending. And that's kind of the difference we're having here. They are top-end cards that are just thrown into a very cheap pool. The market is absolutely on its knees at the moment. There is very little room for a absolutely massive price, and it's reserved for the absolute top now. Everybody else will fall down. I think McTominay puts himself in that S category. McKennie definitely puts himself in there, and there's just going to be the stats that are great. Like McKennie's a full 90 across everything. McTominay 90 across everything bar from shooting, which is fine as a DM. You then look at even Normand, going to be a great centre back. Anticipate, slide tackle, power header. These are the centre backs that we have always wanted. The problem is, are they going to be enough to take out your... Who we even got? We've got a Thiago Silva SBC. We obviously had a Rejo SBC, and I think we've had another one. Vidic as the great of the games icon. There's so many top end centre backs now, and especially with the ultimate team of the season, red picks being kind of just crazy. You obviously looking then. I've got a Virgil just from 11 wins. There's going to be a lot of people with that. So unfortunately, they may not be for the top of the game, but they will improve a kind of an average to medium sort of team. Yan Kuto, though, what a player. I loved I'm pretty sure it's his future star, was a no, it's a fantasy. His fantasy was a phenomenal card, same as Matteson. They were brilliant players, and they most definitely stayed in that relevancy until at least middle of team of the season. Now, he needed an upgrade. He's got the rapid and intercept. We've got a beautiful upgrade into a 95. It's going to come in a bit more expensive, which is what I could have imagined, to be honest. 4-4, great pace. He's got the quick step, the intercept, the flare, is what it is, and a pinged pass. It's a brilliant right back. I think for me, I could argue with that S+, but I think for me, especially with the top end that we've got, I do think he would have needed potentially a better playstyle plus than Flair, maybe something more defensive. Or could you argue it, to be honest? I think he still could have had an upgrade that might have made him more into an S+ with the right backs that we've got. You know what? No. I think he's about right. He's a great card, and I know full well in game he's going to be brilliant. Another player on the list is obviously Mudryk. Beautiful upgrade again from the fantasy. He's gone the 91 to a 95. It's got the quadruple with the rapid, technical, flair, and pinged pass. Now that's kind of an example. I know that the rapid into the technical is always a great option because you've got a run type for everything. So you could go for a technical controlled run, then maybe space it out. They expect the controlled run. You go for the rapid. It is a good partnership to have with them playstyle pluses. But then the flare, bit of a throwaway playstyle plus in my opinion. I liked the ping pass. I think a ping pass, incisive, maybe even had a whipped, it would have been better. But at least having a shooting, maybe a cheeky finesse for that right foot on the inside would have been really good. But that's kind of where they're showing you, is this card the absolute top or not? Now, when we're looking at the left wings, I probably would go with Martinelli and Garnacho over him. I think all of them have got incredible stats, but I think with me, Mudryk would just come that little bit under without having that finesse at the minimum. I think he has to have it. As a 5-5 player, that would have been the cream on the top, really, for him, and that's just unfortunate. We do then have a few others. The Arsenal left back looks very interesting. Again, some cards that you just won't even think of, and maybe they're in that obscure. That's even an obscure nation. He's Polish, so it's not that obscure. But you kind of don't think about him in your everyday Prem team. When he whacks out a 94, you're definitely going to look at him. Anticipate, relentless, whipped pass. It's very nice indeed. Now, again, for 163,000, that will drop over the course. Maybe it might be. I don't know if it's slightly up. Might be slightly up because they're played, to be fair. So he is obviously getting the chemistry boost, and potentially the clean sheet could have been a factor. I know that clean sheet is no longer happening, but it would be interesting to see nonetheless. I think for a left back, he definitely puts himself in that S. I must admit. And I'd definitely say for the Stuttgart left back as well. Quick step, you've got the whipped pass still and the intercept. Credible defending. Dribbling's there, pace is there. It's a very, very nice upgrade. I'd even say, potentially, for the Tottenham player as well, the only thing that's very interesting with him is having that dead ball on a centre-back. Now, I'm not a big fan of that, and that could cost him, to be honest. He's still lengthy, which is fantastic, and he's come from a silver build, which makes more sense. Aerial's brilliant. Jockey's good enough. But dead ball, no anticipate, no slide tackle, and I think I said that, well, I'm pretty sure I got comments in one of the other ones there where you're thinking about stats and playstyle pluses too much, but it does make a massive factor of the game. It really has that effect, and that is where the playstyle pluses do come in. Now, I'm not saying you can't play with him, because most definitely I could rate him in category Z. I guarantee there's someone that can play with him and absolutely smash Elite. Of course they are. It's all about your actual ability on the game when we get to this sort of level, because there's people out there playing bronze, silver, just even standing gold teams and getting 20-0, or even at least 18-2. That is something I can't do. So even with a 95, 99 team, I probably can't do that. So the fact that you can do that is incredible in itself, but it means that you can use anybody. This is just looking at the most meta players, who's the most desirable. And I think for the dead ball and not necessarily having any of them other defensive traits, I would probably give him a miss. And then finally we have got Grob as the objective player. I knew I wouldn't be able to spell it without that B. We have got him as an objective, relatively easy to do. Centre mid with a dead ball, whipped pass, incisive. It's come from a very low rated gold, a massive, massive pace increase, which is nice. All the way up to 91. Good composure. It's kind of a standard card across the board. I kind of imagine that, to be honest. So for me, he would probably go into that A+ as well. I don't think there's really any that I would say are an absolute fix of an A, because realistically, this is a brand new promo with some absolutely crazy cards. Just as a final off, Netherlands versus Poland is still 1-1, so we haven't seen any increase at the moment. Let me know down below how you get on. Have we managed to pack any? And hopefully we'll see some good content later on today. Peace.